I'm welcoming my guest, Lieutenant General D.S. Hooda, someone who understands how the military operates in Jammu and Kashmir and someone who understands, more importantly, the entire region. Welcoming him to the show, General Hooda, good evening. Good to have you on the show. Could you help us understand why we are seeing a spike in violence in Jammu? After all, as I said, militancy and terror strikes were something that were common in Kashmir, but not in Jammu. What has changed?
So, Shreya, I think it's a deliberate effort by Pakistan to stoke up insurgency and terrorism in an area that had, as you mentioned yourself, has been quiet for decades. There is enormous pressure in Kashmir. We just saw, 2 days back, an encounter in Kulgam district where 6 terrorists were killed. If you look at the comparison between terrorist incidents in Jammu and Kashmir, you will find that in the Kashmir region, they are lesser than what is happening in Jammu. So I think there is a attempt to geographically spread terrorism into areas which were quiet. And the idea, of course, is to two things. One, to sort of expand the scope of where security forces are meant to operate. And second, I think more importantly, is to sort of spread the narrative and say, look, what the government has been saying about peace and security in Jammu and Kashmir is actually false. We are here and we can strike. To me, the second part, which is an attempt to subvert the government narrative, is more important.
General Hooda, while that may be the case, and it's very clear that is the case given the timing of these attacks, whether it was Riyasi or whether it was Katwa, the fact also is, does Jammu become easy hunting ground for the terrorists? I'm asking you this. We'll come to the intelligence part, etc. But fact also is that while Kashmir has a very heavy concentration of boots on the ground, in Jammu, troops have thinned out. Troops have been pulled out from Jammu and sent to the China border, sent to the LAC. Have we made it easier for them?
So, Shreya, to be fair, at the time when the decision was taken to pull out troops from, for example, Riyasi in 2020 was when we were actually facing a major threat from China. And the area was quiet. The area had been quiet for almost 10 years. So when you looked at where is it that you can pull out troops from? There isn't an indefinite supply of soldiers with the Indian Army. And as you know, 2 years when recruitment did not happen during the Corona time, the numbers have also sort of come down. So I think it was a fair decision taken at that time. Yes, the terrorists have taken advantage of it by establishing sort of bases in areas where some thinning out had happened. They've taken advantage of areas like Bani Macheri in the Katwa district where the latest incident have happened. And you yourself mentioned for 18 years, nothing had happened in this region. These are challenges that I think the Indian Army will have to look at, the government will have to look at. How is it that we can sort of quickly check this spread of terrorism into the Jammu region? It will temporarily require us to put in additional troops. I think what also happened, Shreya, is that, over a period of time when there is no activity, there is peace in a particular area, standard operating procedures tend to become weak. Human intelligence is not developed to the extent that it should. These are now the new challenges that the Indian Army will have to face with.
But has that been a failure, both in Riyasi and in Katwa? The fact is, General Hooda, you have the IB that is working on the ground, you have the military intelligence that is working on the ground, and then the local police has their own intelligence. You have human intelligence, you have technical intelligence. Aisa kaise that 3, 4, 5 terrorists sneak into the area, an area that is dominated by Hindus and Sikhs. They come in, they do what they need to do, and they run off as easily as they come in.
So, Shreya, let me tell you this, that we knew there was intelligence that terrorists have sneaked into the Katwa area. They have infiltrated into Katwa area. That has been known for some time now. If you geographically look northwards from the Katwa border, the first area that comes is Bani Macheri, where this attack has taken place. Thereafter, you get into Bhadarwa and then you get into Doda. These are areas where encounters have been taking place. I think what happens is that, where is your intelligence effort concentrated? And it's obviously concentrated in areas where you think there is terrorist activity. So we could say that there is some level of intelligence failure, but I'm not sure the intelligence assets of the IB or the army or the police, for that matter, would have really been focused around the areas of Bani Macheri as much as they are focused around, say, Poonch, Rajouri, Kulgam, South Kashmir, North Kashmir. Uh, this is certainly a lesson for us, and then we need to see what has to be done. I'm not sure we are also developing human intelligence in these areas, which we should be doing much more. But I wouldn't really be, very, very critical of the intelligence agencies. I mean, they also have resources, and where and how to deploy them is an issue.
Okay, and now it's clear with what has been happening in Jammu in the last 1 month that more resources will have to be deployed in Jammu. Lieutenant General D.S. Hooda, thank you very much for joining us. It's always good to get your perspective. Thanks, sir, for joining us.